so he's hoping to end up with a record-tying 7th championship.
That's right. I'll tell you what, welcome up to Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. It is MGL Granite Night at the Races. 300 laps of racing action between 8 different divisions tonight here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. It's bow time qualifying coming up live right here on Facebook. And our first division will be the Bandolero Machines as they are getting ready down there on pit road. The drivers are getting ready to load in. Watching people start to chime in. See Randy Akers. How you doing, buddy? He's logged in already to watch bow time qualifying. Family with great history here. Of course, watching his great niece down there. Miley Smith belt into her number 89 machine, getting ready to head out onto the racetrack. These bandos running a 15-lap feature right now, set to be our first race of the night. And Landon Burbage came into this racetrack on a tear. Has showed up 3 times, has left here with the hardware 3 times with that young man, but he came in late in the season with his number 3B machine. That's the 3 with the wrap job down it, down towards the turn 4 end of pit road. And 52 points on the season with those 3 wins. Our points leader is Bryson Nichols in the 80 machine, who sits down at that same end of pit road with Burbage in that number 3B machine. Nevaeh Edwards in the 02, Riley Rondeau in the 99, Tuggy Case in the 1 machine, and Andrew Sheffield in the 54. That's your top 5 in the point standings. And a couple of other drivers having some fun, making their first trips to Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. And I want to definitely give a shout out to a young lady who sits 10th in the point standings right now, Penelope Carlisle, winning at Charlotte Motor Speedway last Tuesday night. So congratulations to the young lady in the 38 machine. Finished runner-up the week before and went ahead and backed it up with a win in series race number 10 for the Bandolero Machines at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the summer shootout. Once again, watching the great battles that are taking place all season long, these youngsters have to identify this racetrack just like they have to do at Talladega in the Cup Series, where the inside line around the racetrack is out of bounds. They're not allowed to get down onto the apron of the racetrack. They have to stay above the apron and on the racing surface. And being a momentum-driven race car like these bandos are, unless you've got a prominent car where you can actually utilize the nose a little bit, maybe get somebody to wiggle, get up underneath them and go on by, or you just have enough power that you drive it in on the outside and work for a couple of laps to take over the spot, it is very hard to pass. So I tell you, it's going to be pretty wild tonight. Once again, the outside pit area, Atlee, talk about a full house.
Yeah, 7 different divisions all crammed into the outside pits there, but definitely love to see it because we're showcasing majority of our divisions out here at Langley Speedway. No twin races tonight that you'll sometimes see. Everybody gets one shot, one race tonight to try to make it happen and get some points and get some wins as we continue to sit down here momentarily with this very healthy Bandolero field. I believe this is one of the biggest fields that we've seen this season. We've got a few drivers coming from out of town. Of course, like you mentioned, Landon Burbage batting 1,000 here in this Bandolero division, has won every single race he has ran. And then we also have another newcomer out of Emerald Isle, North Carolina. That is Rylan Spate in the number 45. Excited to see how he likes this track in his first ever run.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, buddy, these youngsters getting ready to get after it. 14 cars is what I'm counting down there with you. And I'll tell you what, that's going to be a hefty field tonight when we had an average of around maybe 9 to 10 cars most of the season. So 4 more cars doesn't sound like it's much. But when you're out there in race traffic and you have 4 other cars to dodge, it makes a big difference. Langley Speedway, everybody here on the premises and everybody on Facebook, we'd like to send our condolences and prayers out to the Hendrick family. Another racing matriarch for the entire Mid-Atlantic region, Roy Hendrick, passed away this morning through complications with health. So we want to send our best out to Chuck, Melissa, Jason, and Brandon, his kids, and all the grandkids. Actually, one of them, Parker's actually here today working on one of the race teams, working with Justin March 22 machines. So our heartfelt sympathies and all of our love to them, and just going to do a moment of silence for Rapid Roy. All right, like Atlee was alluding to a few moments ago, we were talking about 7 different divisions being in the outside pits, 8 series to take on the 4/10 mile here in Hampton, Virginia. The Cycle City Corp Bandoleros, a 15-lap feature. They're getting ready to qualify. The Harris Truck Shop Super Trucks will run a 25-lap feature. The Pepsi Grand Stocks will have a 40-lap feature. The Hoosier Driver Late Model Stock Cars, a straight 100. No twins tonight anywhere. The Cycle City Corp Legend Series for 25. The Old School Video Game Super Streets for 40 laps. The Farley Financial U-Cars for 25. And the Portsmouth Army Navy Enduro Series for 30 laps. Once again, adding together, welcome to the MGO Granite 300, Atlee.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a action-packed night of racing. And let's actually talk to one of our Bandolero drivers right here. We got Landon Burbage. He has won every single race that he has started here. It looks like you got this track figured out, buddy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I just took the stuff from Carteret and brought it on here, and yeah, it's definitely paying off for sure.
Hey, good luck in qualifying. Yeah, that's Landon Burbage. He's won 3 races so far, and he said that he carried over the setup from Carteret, and Carteret, it was actually designed to be very similar to Langley Speedway, of course, the track down in North Carolina. I believe also the driver in the 45, Ryland Spade, has also raced there. Maybe a few other drivers have made the trip, but that's definitely a fun track that puts on some great racing down in North Carolina.
Yeah, understood. Since Southern National went ahead and called the season a little bit early, he's the champion there as well. So Burbage definitely no stranger to victory lane no matter where he goes right now. That youngster in that number 3 machine we see sitting down there right on the inside of the start-finish line. And Jeff Stickman, Jeff Bowen getting up in the flag stand for qualifications here, also serving as race director tonight along with Christine Mackey up here in the top of the racetrack. And it looks like he's giving a signal. First cars are hitting the track. Here we go.
Yep, these Briggs & Stratton motors are roaring, getting ready to go. We are sending, looks like, our first 2 drivers out, and that'll be Ryland Spate in the 45, and then Logan Furman in the number 5, the young racer from Yorktown, Virginia, in his rookie season, trying to make some noise here in qualifying.
Yeah, they separate them just enough so they can't get a draft off of one each, and at least that's what they try to do. Sometimes you'll have a car wiggle or catch the other one, get that sniff of a draft, and it'll help a little bit. Like you said, Ryland Spite out there on the racetrack right now in the 45 machine. Here comes the 5 right on across the line for rookie on the season, Logan Furman, working around the racetrack, and you'll see him try to stick as close as they can down to that yellow line.
Yeah, it's definitely the name of the game here, just like Daytona or Talladega. They're just trying to wrap that yellow line as long as possible. So we've gotten some times up on the board there, but I believe this is the first time that this 45 has been out on track today. I believe he missed the first 2 practices. I believe maybe they had to go to a backup car, so I'm glad they got things squared away, and they're already heading to the top, or they're second on the board currently. Logan Furman on top, 2 cars out on track, keeping that distance, not utilizing the draft. That's what they try to do to just keep them separated enough.
Yeah, and if you watch the 45 as he's rotating through the corners, our head of our director up here, Justin, just noticed the left front tire is actually picking up off of the racetrack, and he's still picking up some pretty good speeds, a 21.431, and actually runs a 21 flat, so even better. But if they can't get that left front down, there it goes. It picks it up about a good 4 or 5 inches off the racetrack, as a matter of fact. Furman across the line, a 21.714, but a very fast machine for picking up that left front tire as a white flag comes out over Ryland Spite.
Yeah, it looks like they might have the dirt modified setup, and yeah, I got a good view of that right there. That left front tire is completely lifted up all throughout that corner, but he's still making good speed, sits top of the board out of these 2 cars, so looks like they may have something figured out there. Just continue to gain speed and gain experience as he crosses the checkered flag in his first run of the day. Nicely done there for the Emerald Isle competitor.
Yeah, 0.22 on his last lap, so that lap he ran on lap 3, 21.003. That will be his best time around the track. And we're speaking of the 45 of Ryland Spite, the Logan Furman rookie machine, the number 5, a 21.714, the best lap also on lap number 3 around the racetrack. So setting a little bit of a precedence there for third lap. Seems to be the magic lap right now with the heat out there on the racetrack. The number 3 machine coming out, Jace Rogers right now. Jace got on a Jack Dotson show and said, I'm really the only 3 car that was registered at Langley at first. So the young man's trying to live up to everything. And definitely not shy when it comes to the microphone. So that's pretty cool. You need these personalities around racing. And this young man getting his feet wet in this race car and having the personality of the athlete, that's just 2 great pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, that kid gives some awesome interviews, and he's had a good rookie campaign so far with a best finish of 7th, still searching. Oh, and he loops it off of turn number 2.
Yep, right around on him, right at the center of the apex of turn number 2 itself, where you actually want to turn a little bit, but that time it turned around on him as James Manolo's out on the racetrack as well. A couple of good runs down in Charlotte for James in that 04 machine during the summer shootout. He also came here, and they had a wild race a couple of months back where that car got airborne into turn number 3 here. So good to see him come on back out to Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. All these drivers, I was getting ready to say Dale Lemons because I'm thinking of Dale because he always ran the Flying 11, which was after Ray Hendrick, one of his heroes, and of course Chris Lemons and all the family members bringing it on down through, and then of course Cody Carlton running the Flying 11 on his machine right now, as well as Chris Roberts in the modified series, and Rapid Roy of course ran that number because his dad and Jack Tant made it famous in the early modified days. So once again, our caution coming out. Jace Rogers' machine swapping ends over in turn number 2. So get them separated, and I believe we'll see the green flag come back out here. Green is back out on the racetrack, so let's see what kind of times they can lay down now, buddy.
Yeah, it looked like the roof flap had come off of that number 3, but it got set back down. These Bandoleros do have some roof flaps that are keeping those drivers in, so a lot of people will put some tape to just keep them down throughout that whole run, but we saw it come up there, so looks like Rogers able to get some momentum. These cars are very momentum based. It can take 3 or 4 laps to get these cars fully up to speed, just like it is at Daytona or Talladega. So that 5th lap is pretty much going to be your money lap because that's when the car is going to have built up the most speed.
And so far, this duo, James Manolo right now, a 21.988. How about make it a 7.61 for the Jace Rogers machine? Put Manolo back a little bit, but he'll cross the line, and they'll trade. Matter of fact, Manolo up to the 2nd spot now in the 04 machine, a 21.549. So starting to flirt with that top speed of Spite right now.
Yeah, Manolo still chasing that 45. He's definitely gotten close, and the thing is, he's still got a few more laps to try to get up there, as we see Jace Rogers able to put the 3 in position number 3 on the board right now, knocking Logan Furman it down to that 4th place spot. So a lot of back and forth for these first 4 cars here in qualifying.
And race fans, if you're just tuning in to Facebook, watching Bow Time Qualifying presented by Bojangles. Right now, the Bandoleros on the racetrack. The first 4 cars have taken time so far. Riley Spite, brand new driver to the facility, but fast on the charts. A 21.003 for the 45 machine. Jace Rogers now up to 2nd quick. The rookie in the 3 machine, a 21.428. As James Manolo right behind him in the 04, the 21.486. And Logan Furman, the other car to qualify thus far, another rookie on the season with a 21.714. And that looks like it'll complete qualifying for Jace and James now, with Jace with a great time of 21.330, still about a half a tenth off Ryland Spite right now. So but we're going through the field, and it looks like as we get towards the back, we're going to find our faster cars from practice earlier today.
Yep, sending 2 more cars out here. Got some female star power heading out onto the track. That's the 89 of Miley Smith and the 00 of Georgia Kazi. Both of them searching for some good finishes today. Miley with the best finish of 5th this season. Georgia has 2 4ths. So both of them trying to get back into the top 5 tonight. Excited to see how both can do.
Great qualifying effort last time out for Miley Smith. She qualified up in the top 5, I believe, last time out with that 89 machine, the 4th generation driver here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Talked about her great uncle Randy watching on Facebook right now, watching the qualifying, and there's Grandma Tiba watching in to see how she does on qualifying, and she'll come across the stripe just to start qualifications with a top 3 run right now, 21.406 to start qualifications for her. Georgia Causey works off turn number 4 now, out of the sunshine and into the shade, a 22.170 for the bright green and bright pink 00 machine. Now they send them out 2 at a time because you can space them out just enough. It takes sort of like Euro qualifying is what they call it, when you have more than one car on the racetrack at a time. And last time out, they were actually qualifying some of these cars all on the track at once, which, man, you want to make sure you have clean traffic space in that case, Atlee.
Yeah, the spotters, if that was the case, spotters probably be on the radio saying, hold back, get some space, although you may want a little bit of the draft in these Bandolero cars. We see Miley hops up to the top of the board there with a 20.892. That 89 is quick as I believe we've got a car around in 3 and 4.
Yeah, Georgia's car has swapped ends on her down in turns 3 and 4. She's already back on the throttle and drives up the racetrack. So you got to be careful driving up the racetrack like that in these the centrifugal clutches. They can get real hot when you try to put throttle on them from a dead stop heading uphill. But she will straighten that car out, and the green light's going to come back on to continue qualifications. Only a couple more circuits left for them.
Yeah, that's probably going to mess up your momentum a little bit. You know, you're in a groove, and then you have that happen, and it just kind of gets in your head. But hopefully she can just move on from that and keep digging and try to improve that lap time and see if she can get on the board right now. She is to that 5th spot. Got 4 cars she's trying to chase here if she wants to jump to the top of the board. So far, 2 spins here in qualifying. But, Buck, this track is hot and slick right now. Definitely going to be the hottest and slickest it's going to be all day long.
Yeah, the entrance to turn 3 right now is magic because it's a lot of shade from the trees back there. And Miley Smith will run a 9.13 when she gets that hot lap. And here comes Georgia. She's going to aim it towards the start-finish line. Got a little bit loose off the exit of the corner, so a 5.16. She does make her best lap number 5. So the young lady was able to really recover well and put pedal to the metal and still qualify inside the top 5 right now of the 6 machines that have gone. But it is Miley Smith right now, the young lady in charge with the 89 machine, a 20.892. So that's the new bar set. And here comes Riley Rondeau. And Atlee, you and I were talking, I believe, car number 4 on the season for this young lady.
Yeah, she's had a rough go at it so far. Had a big wreck earlier this season in practice. Luckily, we had the Edwards Racing Team. They lended her a car, and she was able to get the race in. But last week, she had a really rough wreck off of turn number 4, hit the wall, and was not able to compete in the race. But they have gotten a new car from Inex, and she is back out here looking to try to get to the top of the board. She had been qualifying and racing really well over the last few weeks with a best finish of 2nd on her most recent race. So I think tonight could be a good night if she can just get that, if they can get that new car dialed in. We also see out there on the track, that's the Raleigh, North Carolina competitor of Aiden Ziedrich. He is a typical competitor over at Wake County Speedway, and he's also ran in the Inex Winter Heat at the Charlotte Road Course.
Yeah, good to see Aiden Ziedrich back here with us at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Matter of fact, how about top 3 on lap number 1, 21.220. That young man's not afraid of the throttle at all. He's pedaled to the metal, ready to get it done. Top 3 on lap number 1. Riley Rondeau, a 21.712. Something not hitting on that car right at the moment. We'll see what she does on these last few laps she gets here. And Ziedrich up to the top 2 now, man. I tell you what, he's got it rolling.
Yeah, that 38 car looking very fast. I mean, if you can get into the top 2 in your first 2 laps, that's certainly a good run for sure. As we see, looks like Riley Rondeau is pulling it into the pits, maybe not liking what that car's doing.
Yeah, she's heading to you, buddy. So something definitely not happening in the power plant on that machine. You could tell by the speed it was putting out. A 21.7 was the best it was doing out there. Ziedrich, on the other hand, a 20.912, 29 one-thousandths of a second off of Miley Smith's lap right now. 38 machine coming off of turn 4 is going to look at the white flag, has the racetrack all to his lonesome right now on a 20.898. Identical lap to the last lap. How about that? Talk about being consistent. 2 laps right with one another. 29 one-thousandths of a second off of the 20.892 with a 20.898 off of turn number 4. Checkered flag from Stickman. Jeff Bowen on the track, and he will do it. 20.856 from 29 thousandths to the negative to 36 thousandths to the positive for Aiden Ziedrich onto the top of the board, and he spins it coming off of turn number 2. And he's just going to let it free roll backwards down the backstretch a little bit. We'll have to wait for him to get straightened out before we send our next 2 cars out, but at least he did it after he got that lap, huh?
Yeah, that's the best possible time to spin right there, is after you've gotten your run in. So Yeah, that 38 was bad fast, able to put it to the top of the board, but we still have some great competitors getting ready to head out onto the track. Typically what they do here in these Bandoliers is they send cars out 2 at a time, and it goes from slowest practice times to fastest practice times. So the cream is definitely going to be coming at the end of this practice field, or at the end of this qualifying field, based on practice time. So if you're on the top of the board, you will be one of the last cars heading out. But got things squared away there off of turn number 2, sending our next 2 out, and these are 2 competitors with a good season. It's the rookie Andrew Sheffield, and we've got Nevaeh Edwards in the 0-2, searching for win number 2 on the season.
Yeah, I tell you, watching on Facebook, Jess Cochran said, okay, Miley Smith, after she grabbed pole earlier on, and then Brandy Marshall said, go Aiden, and cheered him on to the top spot now. So a bunch of different drivers, including modified winner last week, Brad Adams, now watching on Facebook, watching bow time qualifying for these youngsters in these Bandolero machines. You mentioned Andrew Sheffield taking the green flag to start qualifications. And there goes Nevaeh Edwards across the start-finish line. Of course, Nevaeh popping a win earlier in the season with that 0-2 machine. And Sheffield sitting 5th in the point standings right now. Had a couple of altercations, none of his fault, that cost him some points early in the season. So now trying to make those up as we get past the halfway point. I believe last week might have been, or the week before, was the halfway point in the season for these drivers. And Sheffield, how about up to 3rd for the 54 machine, a 20.931.
Yeah, that 54 is quick right away. He's really been coming into his own as of late. He had his best finish of the season last week with a 2nd place, and he's put it to the top of the board there with a 20.732. 54 definitely has found something tonight, and he's just looking to continue to improve every single lap. I believe he's got still a few more, but yeah, like you mentioned, we are past the halfway point. I believe we've gotten 7 races in, so this is only a 10-race season for these Bandoleros. Only 3 more races to go, and these points are going to be crucial.
Yes, sir. I'll tell you what, Sheffield getting her done. How about a 20.686? A little bit better? Nope. That'll stay right there. A 721 on that last lap right there. 0-2 machine. Like you said, those 2 cars come out. They're getting faster as they roll off of pit road right now. And the no bullying folks down in our fan zone as well. If you want to go get you a free wristband or talk to those folks, that's one thing we definitely don't believe in any of the racing or anything in our lives. Definitely, we treat each other as equals, no bullying whatsoever. So that's going to be just had April come up here and tell us about that. So Andrew Sheffield, the rookie, laying down that 20.686. But how about Nevaeh Edwards on the final lap? 20.609, the young lady to the top.
And I've gotten word from the 99 team we saw her pull in after 3 laps of her qualifying run. Just said that the car was too loose. They're just still getting it dialed in. Got a new chassis from NX earlier this week, and it made its maiden voyage yesterday for open practice, and just still trying to get things figured out with it.
That's it. I'll tell you what, you just got to throw the wrenches at it as hard as you can go sometimes and see exactly where everything lands. And Tuggy Case out on the racetrack had a pretty good summer shootout down at Charlotte. But this young lady, bang, there she is across the start-finish line. Penelope Carlisle, so we watched Tuggy go down the backstretch in that 1VA machine. Sort of a throwback to the old Lenny Pond paint scheme. And Lynn O'Neill himself, he ran that. Of course, Lenny was his hero, that's for sure. And Malcolm Case, Dougie's dad, everybody from around that area looked up to Lenny Pond back in the day. So a little throwback paint scheme on that car. Pretty cool with the gold and yellow. And around goes Penelope Carlisle down in 3 and 4. She's going to get it straightened out.
Yeah, it's been Spin City here in qualifying. We've had a lot of drivers just really loose spinning. And I just think it's just the nature of this track with how hot and slick it is. It's just really hard to handle for some of these drivers, and their cars might already have a lot of cross on it, so just drivers dealing with it and trying to make it through. But like you said, these are 2 drivers that competed in the Cookout Summer Shootout this year. Like you said, Penelope got the final win of the beginner Bandolero division, so that was really awesome to see. And then Tuggy also competing in the Bandits. He had a best finish of 6th. He's currently the 2nd ranked Bandit in Virginia. And one interesting thing to note about this Bandolero divisions is not only are they competing for track points, but they are also competing for national points and state points. And they have two divisions, Bandits and Outlaws. The Bandits are for drivers 7 to 12, and the Outlaws are for drivers 12 and up. And these drivers have to travel all around and try to rack up points to see where they stack up in the nation and their state.
And how about the young ladies taking over here, man? Penelope Carlisle, a 20.513, almost a tenth of a second to herself. You have to set these cars up loose. That's why I looped around. How about a 367 to back up that 5 from the 38 car driver? She was quick in practice and now catches the one machine down the backstretch. Tuggy's going to go ahead and pull down to the inside. He is fourth quick, a 20.694. And Mike Newell, he's watching on Facebook. He says, man, the track just looks extremely slick. Can't wait to see the other divisions out here and see what they can deal with on this and see what kind of times these Who's Your Driver late models end up putting down with this slick of a racetrack. But there's Penelope Carlisle right now at the moment on your pole position for the young lady in the 38 machine with a time of 20.367. Nevaeh Edwards second quick right now in the 0-2, and Andrew Sheffield, the rookie, on the 54 in third. Tuggy Case in fourth in the 1, and Aiden Zedrick in the 38 machine right now. Those are the cars on the scoreboard. These two cars look to maybe change that lineup.
Yeah, and you were talking about Andrew Sheffield. I've got him right here. He's coming off his best finish of the season. Andrew currently sitting third on the board. Bandolero looks quick today.
Yeah, it feels really great. Just got to get it ready for the race and be good on the long run. Start on the inside. If we start up top, just work our way down and make our way through the field. Do the best I can and give it what the car gives me.
I know you're a rookie this year. What have been your thoughts of the season so far?
I'm super glad to be here. Really fun. I can't wait to come back next season, and hopefully we can end the season off on a good note and keep having these good runs and all this speed.
Well, there you go. Andrew Sheffield, driver the number 54, looking to get another podium tonight here as we've got our final two cars out on track. The fastest two in practice. They're trying to be the fastest two here in qualifying, as Bryson's already worked his way to fifth on the board.
Yeah, Nichols popping up on the fifth, and about time you say that, that's when the 3B of Landon Burbage jumps up to third and bumps him back to sixth. Burbage right now, 20.619. Nichols with a 20.855. We'll watch the 80 car come across the stripe. A 7.01 still keeps him in sixth spot. Burbage across the stripe now, the 3B machine to second quick, 20.490. Only a tenth behind Penelope Carlisle right now for the number 3B. Here comes the 80 machine once again, and Bryson Nichols across the stripe.
Yeah, Bryson Nichols needs at least 2 or 3 more tenths if he wants to try to get to the top of the board, as we saw a 20.494 for Burbage. His final lap, and just like he's won every single race that he's ran in, he's also won the pole, so he's trying to continue that streak. Nichols grabs his final lap. He will stay fourth on the board, so second row outside, and as Burbage crosses, he is not able to jump to the top of the board.
How about that? Penelope Carlisle holds on, a 20.367 out of 14 machines. The young lady that found her first victory in her career at Charlotte Motor Speedway last Tuesday night collects her first career pole here at her home track at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Congratulations to Penelope Carlisle and the entire 38-car race team. Landon Burbage in the 3B will start on the outside pole. Those times, a 20.367 to a 20.464. Nevaeh Edwards in the 0-2 will qualify third, with Bryson Nichols in the 84th. Andrew Sheffield, the rookie on the season, will qualify fifth in the 54, so he will get the start on the inside like he told you, Atlee. And the one machine of Tuggy Case qualifies sixth. Aiden Zedrick will qualify the 38 machine in seventh, with Molly Smith starting on the outside of row number 4. The 45 of Rylan Spite, will start ninth, with Jace Rogers, the rookie candidate, in the number 3, starting 10th. James Manolo in the 0-4 will start 11th, with the 00 Georgia Carsey 12th. Logan Furman, another rookie on the season, then the 5 will start 13th. And Raleigh Rondeau will have to do a little bit of setup work on the 99, but look for her to try to make a charge through the field. And that's 14 Cycle City Court Bandoleros. It is MGL Granite night at the races. 300 laps of competition up and rolling. And here comes the Cycle City Court Legend Series.
Yeah, these Legends have been a fun division to watch this season. They've had multiple different winners, and last time out we saw Tommy Jackson have a dominant performance, grabbing yet another win this season. So we'll see how these Legends cars stack up tonight, as it looks like we got a little bit of sprinkling going down here in the pits.
Yeah, we got a couple of clouds rolling over the top a little bit, so looks like probably going to get a little bit of a sprinkle. Hopefully not too bad of anything, buddy.
There goes that 38 car by me, but how about that? What a pole for the Penelope Carlisle team. Looks like maybe that experience at the summer shootout has helped, and just continuing to learn the setup. She made her rookie debut last year and has just gained experience and gotten better every single race, so definitely cool there to see that pole.
Yeah, definitely. And on Facebook, Heather Edwards, congratulations on the pole, Penelope. So that young lady gaining some fans as well out in our social media corners of the world. So Penelope Carlisle ended up on the pole for the Cycle City Corp Bandolero Series. Right now slated to be race number 1 on the night, but of course we are watching the weather, which has caused a couple of racetracks around the area to push races. They went ahead and made the note that they're going to run on Sunday. So we're trying to do everything on our given day, which is Saturday here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, which has been the race day ever since inception over 70 years ago. So trying to keep everything rolling on here tonight. MGL Granite Night at the Races. MGL Granite is a successful natural and engineered stone fabricator located in Hampton, Virginia. MGL works with elegant natural stones and high-quality quartz materials. Their stone yard is sufficiently stocked on a weekly basis to best meet the needs of each client. MGL Granite works with commercial and residential builders along with homeowners. And MGL specializes in installing stone in kitchens, vanities, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pools, surroundings, and along with more unique designs. MGL Granite has been satisfying their customers for over 14 years, and they're our official sponsor for tonight here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. And I tell you what, it is bow time qualifying, so it makes me think of my Bowberry biscuits. But they do have the Langley Speedway combo. You can stop by on your way out to Larry King Law's Langley Speedway today, and there's one just right up the street, and that is our main sponsor. Make sure you pick up your Langley Speedway combo and come on in. Watch great racing action with us tonight here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway.
And we've got our first track car out onto the track. Oh, as I say that, looks like he's going around, so drivers getting things figured out here where they want to line up. Some drivers might want to go to the end as the racetrack may be a little bit slick.
Well, right now we're in a little bit of a holding pattern, watching the weather. We'll remind you that Cycle City Corp's family owned and operated for over 43 years. Cycle City Corp is your largest motorcycle, ATV, side-by-side, and personal watercraft dealer on the East Coast. Cycle City carries Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, BRP, and Can-Am products. We're located just off Interstate 64 at exit 258A, 1 mile down. Stop by for some great deals in their parts department or service department and sales department. Make sure to follow Cycle City Corp on Facebook and Instagram to receive special offers. That's Cycle City Corp, the official sponsors of our Bandoleros and Legends series.
marble, quartzite, and soapstone, MGL Granite is recognized as Hampton Roads' premier countertop fabricator and has built its reputation on impeccable craftsmanship. No exceptions. They provide the largest selection of premium quality materials in Hampton Roads. They'll suit a multitude of applications and design variations. Whether you're looking to upgrade your kitchen counters, remodel a bath vanity, or design other unique stone surface applications, they offer the finest quality work on time at competitive prices. Call MGL Granite today, 757-522-0387. MGL Granite.
Larry King Law. Knowledge, experience, commitment.
Anytime an accident happens, dial 757-INJURED for Larry King.
If you or someone you know has been injured in an accident after getting medical help, call us first. Dial 757-INJURED for Larry King.
Larry King Law battles for justice and is dedicated to empower and protect accident victims. It is our mission to provide the best possible legal services. Anytime you need help, dial 757-INJURED.
That's right. Welcome back once again to Larry King Law's Langley Speedway on Facebook. Bow time qualifying. Spencer Saunders is going to be the first single car qualifier of the evening for the Cycle City Corp Legends Series. An 18.557 will start qualifications for the number 7 machine. Multi-time champ here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Nice looking machine. An 18.371 will start the qualifications for the Cycle City Corp Legends once again. Spencer Saunders out on the racetrack. Pretty decent field of these cars here tonight, Atlee.
Yeah, definitely cool to see this big car count here tonight as we have that number 17 of Devin Courtney out there on track, the competitor out of Hampton, Virginia. He has a best finish of 5th. He's got 3 top 5s, looking for another one tonight. He will take that white flag, hopping up to a 18.428. Still a little bit off of Spencer there on his first lap, but with these legend cars, they have 2 laps to just try to get things done. One might kind of be your throwaway lap, and then that second, that'll definitely be your money lap once those tires get worked in.
And Courtney's second lap, an 18.428. Quicker on lap number 2, but still Spencer Saunders right now with an 18.371. Courtney ended up top 3 on the second practice of the afternoon, but this is the gentleman that topped both speed charts in both practice sessions earlier today, and he comes straight out of Dale Emmons Victory Lane just a week ago. So Tommy Jackson Jr. out on the racetrack in 87 looked to try to repeat the feat tonight, MGL Granite night at the races, and he'll go ahead and take care of business on lap 1, an 18.154. How about 2/10 to himself?
Yeah, the 3-time champion had a dominant performance last week in the 25-lapper. As you see, he crosses the checkered flag, currently top of the board, but in some of the recent races that Tommy had, he qualified on the pole, had been up front, and then cautions or other circumstances had caused him to end up to lose the race, so he finally was able to just beat Tommy Jackson out there last weekend, grabbing the win, as we have a driver that Tommy helps out there on track right now. That's the number 21 of Andrew Hund, and he's with Hund's Recycle Factory, and they are the sponsor of our Champ Kart division that runs out here.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that's a fun Instagram to follow and Facebook and everything, to watch the different things they do there with bicycles and different stuff. Andrew Hunt, a great guy, too. If you ever get a chance to get down in the garage area after the races, get the kids a checkered flag, get it autographed here. Andrew with an 18.555, so puts the triple nickel behind the 18 there on that second lap, for Andrew Hunt. Lap number 1 coming down for the 9.5. Here comes Ryan Cooper around the racetrack down into turn number 1. Always loved the paint scheme on, or the decal wrap job on Andrew Hunt's machine too. Sort of gives you that Castrol kind of feel.
Yeah, Andrew always has great looking cars for sure. He also had, he said a blue car, he said a black car. He has a bunch of different great looking cars out here. But like you said, Ryan Cooper out there on track right now in the number 95. He puts it 5th on the board on his first lap. He's got a best finish of 9th this season. He was a rookie back in 2021. So he's just continuing to gain experience in learning. He's traveled to some other tracks over the years, and he's just continuing to try to get things dialed in here at Langley. Second lap, 18.857. That'll put, as they like to call him, Coop in the 5th place spot.
There you go, Ted Zarpus, rookie on the season in the 41 machine, taking over the wheel in this legend machine from Woody Howard. That's why it's got the 41, the Curtis Turner sort of paint scheme on the machine as well. Got the Rob's Hauling on there, everything. And so, but Ted started out late last season, so he is still eligible for Rookie of the Year this year in the 41 machine. Lap number 1 will be a 20.186 in the number 41 machine right now. Tommy Jackson Jr. still sitting atop. The time to beat, an 18.014.
And you mentioned that 41 car. One of the cool things about these Legends is that there's 2 different body styles. So most of these guys out here, they run the Ford Coupe body, but we also have some sedans. So the 41 that was just out there, Ted Zarpus, and then Michael Zarpus in the number 1 car who is out there right now. All of them run that sedan body style, which definitely looks really cool.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you what, these I love this paint scheme, the black and silver. It reminds you of the old modified days when you see some of the pictures from back then. This car is just clean looking for Michael Zarpus. Like you said, the brothers getting it done out here and having fun, the 41 and the 1 machine. Black and silver coming off of turn number 4. First lap on the board is going to be a 19.758, so just under the 7.29 that Ted put out there on the racetrack. As we watch him work his way off of turn 2 and down the backstretch, Charlie Beals rolls out on the racetrack. That 5 machine, talked to that young man last during the Hampton Heat, actually, and he says he's looking for some money. He wants to go limited late model racing. Zarpus on lap 2, he'll go ahead and better Ted by just a little bit, a 19.580 to a 19.729 as Charlie Beals takes a green flag. Got a young man up here standing beside me, Will Holland, wants to get into possibly, hopefully, doing some announcing later on down the road. How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Doing very well, yeah. So everything feeling pretty good, hearing things and picking up some pointers?
Yes, sir. Went on pit road earlier, got a feel for all the cars and the drivers and stuff like that.
There you go. Charlie Beals, how about P2 on lap number 1, an 18.224 to start off qualifications for Charlie B in the 5 machine. And these cars are very quick. These are the hardest ones to keep up with on the racetrack.
They are very fast.
There you go. All right, so we'll probably get him over here, maybe get him on the air a little bit with us maybe later on. But Will Holland over here trying to figure out. Thanks for coming up, buddy.
Thank you for having me.
All right, buddy. But Atlee, Charlie Beals, man, he couldn't grab hold to Tommy all the way, but he got within a 10th.
Yeah, that 5 car always quick out here. Charlie's got a win this season, 7 top 5s, and he travels all around. I see him go to a bunch of different tracks all across the country. He definitely loves to travel. He was the winner of the 2023 Hangover 150 Legend feature at New River. That's one of the tracks that he likes to frequent. So second to Tommy Jackson, he could definitely be a threat to grab the win tonight. But got another tough competitor out there from Chesapeake. That is J.P. Peisel in the number 96 as he takes the checkered flag.
Man, what a jump, too. All the way from 7th to 4th for J.P. Peisel, the 96 machine. Great turn 3 and 4 in that second lap. An 18.421 as Cody Carlton brings his flying 11 out onto the racetrack. And once again, can't help but think about Rapid Roy Hendrick passing away from health complications this morning. And our prayers and love going out to the family and all his fans over the years for Rapid Roy. And Cody up to 3rd quick, an 18.194 lap number 1 for the Flying 11. Of course, a lot of people around here are familiar with Dale Lemons running the Flying 11 from his hero, Ray Hendrick. And that's Rapid Roy's dad, of course. Checkered flag coming out on Cody. He will jump to P2 with an 18.069, half a tenth off of Tommy Jackson Jr. Next car on the racetrack put down a whale of a lap in practice number 2. Ryan Micah, he ended up in the top 3 in speed with this number 16 for this rookie.
Yeah, he hasn't made many rookie mistakes this season. He's been extremely strong out here in that number 16. He's continuing to get seat time, but I don't think he needs much more to get close to the front, as he's been mixing it up with your top 5 in 3 different races. He's finished in the top 5, or excuse me, 4 races with a best finish of 3rd. So look out for Ryan Micah to potentially hop up there to the front half of the field as he gets to 4th. Not too shabby there for the rookie competitor.
Yeah, 16 machine with his driver, Ryan Mike, on 18.326. He had a top 5 finish a few weeks ago when I was actually working pit road. Got to go over and talk to him afterwards after such a great run for the driver of the number 16. P4 right now as the 48 of Mason Weekly hits the racetrack. It's a cool looking car. Sometimes the colors disappear up in the grandstands, but when you get close to some of these cars, some of the diamond in the vinyl and different things pop out a little bit. So, and this is one of those cars, Mason Weekly's 48 machine. How about 8th quick on lap number 1, 18.494. Looks like we got 13 cars that'll take time right now for the Cycle City Corp Legend Series as the final car hits the racetrack right now. And across the strike comes the 48 machine. How about up to 4th? He'll bump Micah back to 5th. The 48 machine with an 18.262, just over a 10th off of Tommy Jackson Jr. as Jake Harberts takes the green flag to start his qualifications in car number 80.
Yeah, Buck, I got Charlie Beals down here. He's currently sitting 3rd on the board right now. That was a good qualifying run, just a little bit off of Tommy and Cody there. What's your plan for this race tonight?
I mean, see what we can do. We've had a lot of good finishes recently. I've been really solid. See if we can't make a few more improvements and get past this rain later tonight.
Well, good luck, Charlie. Definitely looked good out there in qualifying at number 5, searching for win number 2 on the season. And that starting position is definitely a step in the right direction there for that 5 team.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Charlie Beals has been a top competitor ever since he unloaded here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway and continues to prove so. As the 80 machine of Harberts comes across the line, he'll end up 4th, bumping Micah off of the scoreboard. But it'll be Tommy Jackson Jr. once again claiming the top spot in the number 87 machine with a time of 18.014 around the 4/10 mile oval here in Hampton, Virginia. So a solid lap for Tommy Jackson Jr. puts him P1. Cody Carlton will start to his right elbow in the 11 machine. Then it'll be Charlie Beals in the 5B starting 3rd. The 80 of Jake Harberts will start 4th. Mason Weekly in the 48 will start 5th. Ryan Michael will end up in 6th spot with the 16 machine. Spencer Saunders in the 7. He matches his number and will start 7th. JP Peisel in the 96, 8th. Devin Courtney in the 17, 9th. That's uncharacteristic qualifications. We'll watch for that car to come through the field. Andrew Hunt in the 21 and 10th. Ryan Cooper in the 95, 11th. Michael Zarpus in the 1, 12th. And Ted Zarpus in the 41. He will round out your 13-car field right now. So pretty tight right there. How about this? A 10th and a half from 1st to 5th to 13th. That's a tight field, buddy.
Yeah, there's not much more competitive division here at Langley Speedway than that Legends. They have so much parity week in and week out. You can maybe expect a different driver in victory lane, but of course, one of the most dominant drivers we've seen here in Legends, Tommy Jackson, grabbing the pole. It's going to be a tight fight between himself, got Carlton, like you said, Charlie Beals. That's going to be a race to watch for sure coming up. But I've got some Farley Financial U cars lining up right in front of me. I see that 64 car of Thomas Fontaine, the rookie. He's got 2 poles this season, looking for pole number 3. He hasn't turned any of them into wins, but he's looking to change that tonight. See another successful rookie. There's Mikey Chin right there in that number 3. And then he's got to win this season. We got Jesse Jones there in the 5.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we got to see different winners come up a little bit over different drivers not being able to compete or having issues. And so it'd be pretty cool to see Thomas Fontaine go ahead and pop that victory lane, especially points leader right now. Mikey Chin, great dude. I tell you what, he's willing to throw wrenches and help anybody he can help on pit road at any given chance. In the outside pits, inside pits, it doesn't matter. That's a young man in the number 3 machine. And you mentioned Jesse Jones coming out here, setting the pole, and then winning. He started shotgun on the field last time in a caution-free U-car race, so just couldn't get to the front in time to do anything. But I think he drove up to either a 2nd or 3rd place finish, which was pretty cool. One driver lining up right now for Bowtime qualifying is Dwight Nichols. We see his machine with Hooters down there on it. He is running the number E7 in memory of the late Chris Weatherford, for former mini stock competitor here. Dwight's dad was his crew chief back in the mini stock days, so he wanted to say hi to Chris's son, watching tonight, and on Facebook qualifying and Bowtime qualifying and Flow Racing tonight. Dwight is celebrating his dad in style, running that E7 on that 7 machine down there tonight. So just watching out for Chris Weatherford. Our prayers to the family and everything, as today would have been his birthday, I believe is what he said. So first car out, we talked about Thomas Fontaine, rookie on the season. Of course, multi-time winner in Enduro Series racing, especially on Day of Destruction days as well. So the Mosquito Joe special across the line for the first lap time of 18.974.
And Fontaine definitely a threat to get the pole tonight. He's gotten one, or excuse me, he's gotten two this season. So definitely would love. Oh, and we got some some lead on the entrance of pit road right there. Looks like it fell off of the 3 car of Mikey Chen. We're gonna have some officials got to go pick that up. Always tricky having that lead bolted in there. It can fall off really easily.
Yeah, there's usually about a 1/4-inch bolt that you put in behind that lead to stop it, and it has to be non-mobile, so you can't have it where it shifts in the frame as well. It has to be bolted into place, so obviously somebody forgetting to put that bolt in that locks that lead in place. But a 19.298 the first lap for Mikey Chen on the racetrack. 3 car continuing around the racetrack. But like you said, he threw it in gear, hit the throttle, and the lead slid out, so they're going to have to add that back to the car. And that's probably what he's fighting right now, is now the car doesn't have that right side weight or the left side weight, so it's probably a handful out there, and he's probably wondering what is going on, especially after you heard probably a thunk in the car when the lead fell out.
Yeah, without that lead, it's just going to completely mess up the balance of that car, so he may have definitely been fighting some issues there for the rookie competitor, but he's still second on the board and could potentially stay there with some of these other competitors going out. But here he is, driver the number 5 from Newport News, Virginia. That is Jesse Jones, and he is a 2015 U-Car champion. We saw him win in mini stocks the championship at Dominion, and he has already put it on the top of the board with a 18.9 lap there for Jesse, looking for win number 2 on the season.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jesse, this race car actually raced at Bristol Motor Speedway earlier this year when they had the open races for all the street stocks and mini stocks and 4-cylinders and 8-cylinder cars that run as secondary divisions at most tracks at Bristol. He took that car there to a top 10 finish at Bristol Motor Speedway, so that was pretty cool. But right now, at the moment, on the pole here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, an 18.893 for Jesse Jones, driver of the number 5 machine. Of course, a second-generation racer. His dad, Henry Jones, raced up to late model stock cars here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway as well. Lacey Hogg on the racetrack right now, the 83 machine, looking to lay them pink wheels across the start-finish line. And Atlee, your pops is watching, buddy.
Yeah, it's definitely been cool to see Lacey in her rookie year take on Langley Speedway. She's gotten into the top 10 this season, just continuing to try to improve, and it's definitely been noticeable. One thing to note is that she has never driven any other cars out here in go-karts or any other class, so she's definitely had to kind of do some baptism by fire in this division, and she's picked things up quickly. 22.012 there for Lacey Hogg, just continuing to try to improve every single week.
Yeah, getting down inside that 22-second bracket is an achievement in itself when you've never really raced and you're trying to learn. And she is getting down to that area as Dwight Nichols does come on the track once again, celebrating the life and remembrance of Chris Weatherford, as a salute to the car that Dwight's dad was the crew chief on back in the day in mini stock competition here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, and sending a big hello out to his son. And like I said, Atlee, your dad chiming in. He's watching Cody Bryant, watching Ryan Nestor winner a few weeks back in the limited late models, all watching here on Bow Time Qualifying on Facebook. So I'd like to see everybody chiming in. And remind them, when you're coming on your way on out to Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, stop by Bojangles. It's right around the corner. Get yourself the Langley Speedway special. And come on out here, and don't forget to cap it off with the Bowberry Biscuits. You can thank me later on. Dwight Nichols ends up with the 4th quickest time, a 19.650, as Kyle Bunn takes the green flag, and his buddy ended up in victory lane last week. Kyle Wood, one of Kyle Bunn's buddies, ended up winning the second modified feature last week with Kyle Bunn on the track right now.
Yeah, excited to see what this 89 can do here. Definitely a good-looking hot rod in this U-Car division. And he's already gotten it there to 4th on the board, so a solid first lap for the competitor, and we'll see if he can improve things on lap number 2. Coming to that checkered flag, and he is able to grab a 19.059, putting him in on the podium with a 3rd place spot.
inside of a tenth of Jesse Jones. So that's saying something for that race team. Christian Keller on the racetrack. The score monitor showing. Didn't see him here last week. Understood he had some health issues. Had to take a little bit of a break, step back, and going ahead and bring the car out here. As of this week, it was set up here in the tower, at least, that this car was for sale. So we'll see exactly what's going on with it. But across the start-finish line, how about third quick, a 19.087 for the number 6 machine, the flying white machine with the red trim on it, working down the backstretch. And, man, is the wind picking up down there on pit road. We got some tents getting ready to get airborne down there, buddy.
Yeah, it's been a solid season so far for Christian Keller. 5 wins on the year. And ever since he hopped into this U-Car division, he was the 2020 U-Car Rookie of the Year. He's gotten 2 championships, 21 and 22. Looking for another one this season, but he's only 4th on the board. So that just shows how tough the competition is in this U-Car class. But it is getting windy and rainy down here on pit road. We see crews have their car covers, but we still have cars on the track. Qualifying runs here at Langley Speedway.
Yeah, Jeremy Jones is out there right now at 19.851, but at this time, if you are in the grandstands, there is lightning within the area, so we ask if you could please make your way down out of the grandstands for your safety, and we will notify on the public address system when everything gets the clear to reoccupy your seats in the grandstands. But we need everybody to please exit the grandstands if you can, please, for your safety. Looks like Jeremy Jones able to go up to 7th quick with a 19.790. 19.790. A few cars still left to qualify out here, but watching this weather, and like I said, the wind came in real strong, real fast, Atlee.
Yeah, I've got a lot of crews on the struggle bus right now with some of their tents, with some of their car covers. It's a little bit of chaos down here with these late model crews, but we're getting everything squared away, and like you said, a little bit of a holding pattern down here on pit road. I believe we have 5 more cars that need to qualify. We got the 52 of Kyle Davis, and he is going to head out there on track. The driver from Newport News, Virginia, still searching for his first top 5 of the season. He's got a best finish of 6th, and he is trying to start off tonight with a good qualifying run. I think a top 5 here in qualifying would definitely put him in a good spot for his first top 5 of the season.
Yes, sir. I'll tell you what, some of these drivers really being able to capitalize on some good results here over the last few weeks. And Kyle Davis, one of those, like you said, the 52 machine. Nice and stout. Rolling off at turn number 2. Good exit. Good execution down into turn number 3 for the 52 machine. The deep blue color. Trying to transfer here on the bow time qualifying. And across the stripe, he'll end up 8th quick on lap number 1, 19.975. We'll look down through the field right about 3 seconds, maximum about just over 1 second. Separate the top 8 machines out on the racetrack for this Farley Financial U-Car Series. 52 across the stripe, it'll be a 19.849, faster on lap 2, but still 8th quick. This young lady put on a whale of a show last Saturday night here with this purple number 99 machine. That's Crystal West, trying to see what she can do about getting into Dale Lemon's victory lane here tonight. MGL Granite Race Night at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway.
Yeah, Crystal's gotten close this season. She's gotten a top 5 with a 4th. So looking to trying to get up there again tonight. We see on her first lap, pretty good run with a 19.367, the 2022 U-Car Rookie of the Year. Trying to see what she can do, mix it up with the field. And we've got another former Rookie of the Year heading out onto the track. He's your most recent Rookie of the Year in 2023. That's Brent Burgess there in the number 18, and he's been on a bit of a hot streak lately.
And Crystal West will end up 6th quick with a 19.268, 19.268. So after starting on the front row last week, 6th place qualifying effort, looking to try to drive forward when it becomes feature time. But like you said, Atlee, just a few moments ago, Brent Burgess on the racetrack, the most recent feature winner in the number 18 machine. Working through the center of the corner, the car is rotating very well, that's for sure. White flag already out. Over top the 18 machine, he'll jump to 5th quick, so he'll get on the board on lap number 1, a 19.122. Still 2 more machines to qualify, though. As Burgess works down the backstretch into turn number 3. Swings the red, white, and blue machine through the bottom of the corner. Aims towards the checkered flag from Jeff Bowen. Stickman displays it. And the 18 car will stay fifth quick, a 19.345. So lap number 1, and here comes the monsoon. Everybody get cover.
Yeah, I feel like a weather reporter right now, Buck. It has just started pouring. It's a downpour on the racetrack now. We had a car on the track, and the officials have thrown the caution, so we are definitely going to be in a holding pattern. Please seek cover underneath the grandstands because it is raining hard, but we'll monitor it, try to get things cleaned up as soon as we can, but this is definitely unfortunate.
Yeah, we got a little bit of room down there in Champs Corner. A couple of areas of coverage around the racetrack. If not, please just go to your cars and we'll just check your ticket stubs when you come back in to the grandstands later on. But everybody please take cover because this is a pretty hard storm that is coming in. If you are still in the grandstands, hopefully nobody stayed out there. Please take cover, and for your own safety, be careful.
X.
It starts with one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings.
So once again, race fans, as you can see on Bow Time Qualifying live on Facebook, weather came in suddenly here to Larry King Law's Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. More than likely, I saw that Tyler Moore's broadcast. What about the late models? They have not qualified yet. As a matter of fact, we still had six divisions still to go. Or 5 divisions still left to qualify, I believe, here tonight. 8 divisions in total were running. And the U cars still had 2 cars still left to qualify, so they did not complete qualifying. Usually what the rule book does is you start in order by your point standings, or either you can look at your speeds from practices earlier in the day as long as all cars competed in the practice sessions. So we'll have to see exactly what the officials say about that, or how long it may take to possibly dry the facility if we're able to do so once the rain does stop. So once again, under a rain and storm advisory here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Again, we talked about last week where we honored the late great Charlie High, an engine builder for over 4 decades here at Langley Speedway, dedicating our tech building, which is now known as the Charlie High Tech Center, down in our infield area. And 2 weeks ago, of course, the Hampton Heat, we had NASCAR great Dale Earnhardt Jr. show up with his late model stock car team from Junior Motorsports, who asked him to come race the Hampton Heat. And he's always followed Langley Speedway, both in social media and raced on iRacing, but being able to be here in person for the first time and turn laps was pretty cool. And not to mention, to leave here in the Hampton Heat with a top 5 finish was a cherry on the Sunday. Said he mostly enjoyed the fact that after they were done, cooked steaks in the infield, drank a few adult beverages, and enjoyed watching the local racing series, the support divisions for that night, the last 3 races, and the trailers coming across and picking up all the equipment like back in the day. So that gave him a good nostalgic feeling, and we're glad to hear that. But man, what a slugfest, I guess you could call it, between Connor Hall and Brendan Queen here for the Hampton Heat finish. Of course, Brendan Queen would win his 3rd Hampton Heat trophy and be able to not only light the trophy beforehand, but relight the trophy post-race, which is the new tradition that has been born here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway, where legends are born. And Dwight Nichols, once again, running the number E7. We saw him qualify in memory of the late Chris Weatherford, a former mini-stock competitor. Dwight's dad was the crew chief on that mini-stock machine, and he wants to definitely send a hi out to Chris's son, who will be watching tonight, hopefully during bow time qualifying and maybe on Flow Racing as well, as long as we're able to run tonight during the MGL Granite 300 here at Langley Speedway. Dwight is definitely celebrating the memory of Chris Weatherford in a very cool way with putting the E7 on that machine for Chris's son. But I tell you what, Roy Hendrick, we talked about that a little bit. Rapid Roy, multi-championships under his belt. Started racing limited sportsmen with his dad, Southside, South Boston, running different places, Langley and other different racetracks. And Roy would go on to win multiple late model stock car championships, starting with Marshall Hall back in the day at Southside Speedway and not letting up. In his most famous car he just rebuilt over the past few years, Christine, and of course built his dad's modified car, the Jack Tant modified, that Ray Hendrick won so many races in, Mr. Modified, which it was cool for Roy to be able to actually see Ray go into at least the ballot box for the NASCAR Hall of Fame during this past voting session. Unfortunately not getting in this year, but with as many wins as Ray had, and NASCAR wins, not just outlaw track wins as well, driving Jack Tant's cars and many other just race cars over the decades that he raced, and Roy following in his dad's footsteps, having a great career and being known as one of the top late model stock car drivers to ever turn left at these ovals up and down the Mid-Atlantic region. And we're definitely going to miss him. Roy Hendrick passing away this morning due to health complications, family around. So once again, heartfelt condolences and everything out to the entire family and the fans of Rapid Roy. We all love Rapid Roy, that stock car boy, that's for sure. Just as fierce a competitor as he was a beautiful person, he was always willing to help out all the others in the garage area, and just a great guy. If you went by the muffler shop, he wasn't afraid to talk racing with you at all about his dad or about himself and about other racing all the way up through the Cup Series, and being able to be in Darlington when they ran the Flying 11 paint scheme on Denny Hamlin's Cup car and the Xfinity car. Roy and the family were down there for that. So that was something that was really special to him, to see the family recognized in that way. And I believe Jack Tant was down there. I mean, Jeffrey Bodine was down there. There was a bunch of people in Victory Lane with the family. Darrell Waltrip showed up because of the immense respect he had for Roy and Ray. So once again, thinking of the entire family of Roy Hendrick passing this morning. Hey, looking at the radar, it shows somewhat the heavy cell that just came through, and then there's the rest of the cell, which looks like it's probably about maybe 35, 40 minutes. Playing Mr. Weatherman here. Looks like there might be some stuff trying to build behind it, but it's lower down, so hopefully we'll be able to watch this rain dissipate over the next like 30 or so minutes and then maybe get back to it. Once again, we apologize. But under a weather delay right now here, bow time qualifying. Had the Cycle City Corp Bandoleros and Cycle City Corp Legends get done with their qualifying, and we were 2 cars shy of having qualifying done for the Farley Financial U cars. So we're going to see what the officials say about lining cars up later on. Maybe go over there and have a chat with them real quick and see if I can get an answer for that for you folks. But once again, thank y'all for tuning in to Facebook Live. We got 54 watchers right now, including Spencer Saunders, who's out in the outside pits after qualifying in his Cycle City Corp Legends machine. And my buddy Bobby Gibson, hey buddy, he's out there watching as well. Looking down here, it looks like drainage. We're going to have to definitely do some drying here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway later on. Thank y'all for tuning in to bow time qualifying for us, but right now, big weather delay. Your attention in the pit areas. Your attention in the pit areas. All drivers. All drivers, we need you to make your way to the deck by Chuck Hall's office, which is over at the Turn 1 pit gate. All drivers, please make your way over to Chuck Hall's office at the deck, down on the ground. Once again, we apologize. I'm still under a weather delay. Still sprinkling here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. It's MGL night at the races with MGL Granite. Successful natural and engineered store fabricator located in Hampton, Virginia. And MGL will help you with your outdoor kitchens, your interior kitchens, vanities, fireplaces, pool surroundings, along with many other unique designs. You can design it with MGL Granite, and they will assist you in the best and most superb customer service and guidance through their selections. Once again, that's MGL Granite. They've been satisfying their customers for over 14 years. Our official sponsors tonight, still waiting on Mother Nature. At this time, we will let you know the races have been called for this afternoon here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Fans, hold on to your ticket stubs. Drivers and teams, hold on to your wristbands from tonight's event. We'll honor them at the next race that you run. And we will be checking momentarily with Stickman to make sure exactly what we're going to do about tires, late model teams, etc. So, but race fans, we do want to let you know that the races have been called for tonight here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. We thank you for tuning in to Bow Time Qualifying if you're watching online. And we thank you to our sponsor, MGL Granite. We'll probably have them back out as well on one of our dry nights. And go for this again. Thank you very much. And we're signing off now from Larry King Law's Langley Speedway.